nuestro, hoy queremos darte las gracias por la oportunidad de estar en oraciones contigo. Gracias porque en esta mañana tú nos recibes. Sentimos cuánto nos ama al darnos otro día más de vida. Lo iniciamos pensando en ti y en lo afortunado que somos al tenerte y contar contigo, porque podemos entregarte todas las actividades que tendremos. Nos motiva a levantarnos y decirte, aquí estamos, porque sé que tú nos dices, no teman, estoy con ustedes donde quiera que vayan. Hoy queremos entregarte a todas esas personas que te reprochan porque se sienten abandonados por ti. Oramos y te entregamos a todos aquellos que se sienten confundidos, desorientados, asustados y quizás en su dolor o con sus preocupaciones no alcanzan a sentir tu presencia ni alcanzan a ver que en medio de la oscuridad tú le estás mostrando la luz que los puedes guiar y sacar adelante en sus dificultades. Te pedimos por ellas, Señor, creemos en ti, por eso te entregamos lo que están alejados de ti y que te encuentren y te den la gloria. En el nombre del Padre, del Hijo y del Espíritu Santo. Amén. Señores, muy buenos días. Gracias por estar en sintonía con el mundo a las 7. Gracias una vez más a todos los que nos están sintonizando en casita, a todos los que se están actualizando en las redes sociales. También bienvenido. Muy buenos días, señor Herbert Martínez.
Buenos días, Brenda. Are you going to give me a chance to read my morning prayer?
Yes.
All right, good. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Be a reflection of what you'd like to see in others. If you want love, give love. If you want honesty, give honesty. If you want respect, then you give RESPECT. You get it in return, what you give. A pleasant good morning, a pleasant good morning, a pleasant good morning to each and every one of you. It's Wednesday morning, we're fresh, dressed, and we're ready to give you the morning news.
Así es, muy buenos días para los que están en casita a través de WTN en la isla de San Martín y Saint Martin, los que están a través de Tel TV Plus y de MSR. Buenos días y bienvenido para usted, todo el que está a través de TVCARIB en la isla de Curazao, Aruba y Belice, y todo el que esté en sintonía con nosotros en la isla de Bonaire a través de Dutch Caribbean TV. Muy buenos días para todos ustedes. De igual manera, todo el que está a través de las redes sociales en sintonía con el Mundo a las 7, bienvenido a una entrega más del Mundo a las 7, como es en Saint Martin, en Saint Martin, en Seba, en Estesia, en Anguila, en Saint Bat, en Saint Vincent, Dominica, Saint Kitts, San Tomás, San Croix, Puerto Rico y República Dominicana. Muy buenos días para todos ustedes. De igual manera, todo el que está en Puerto Rico, en Canadá, en España, en Holanda, en Francia, en Panamá, en Venezuela y en Colombia, muy buenos días.
All right. For all of those who are watching us on any fixed devices at home, we want to say a special good morning to you. We also want to big up those of you who are watching us through WTN TV, MSR cable from the front side, and we have Telem Plus. We want to say Telnet Plus. We want to say Tel TV Plus. We want to say good morning to you. Why I'm mentioning Tel TV Plus? Because I recently found out that the TV, they run everything through the app, which is a phone.
Yes.
Now, it's nothing new because we also do it here. You can watch TVCARIB through an app. But the fact that a lot of people are catching on now, and we're hoping that more people catch on with this system, which is very easy. So you can even watch us on the go as long as you have net, right? I want to say to each and every one of you a special good morning. We do have a program for you in line and in stores, so sit back, relax, and you can be interactive as well. Those of you who are watching us live in real time on Facebook, please do like, do share, tag a friend, and make sure that you have people watching us so that we can not only have a good time but share information, because
Yes.
this is what we do. We
Así
share
es.
information, but a lot of times we gain information as well, sitting behind these screens. So good morning, and good morning.
Así es, y unos buenos días muy especial a toda la comunidad china. Ni
Definitely,
hao.
ni hao up in this morning.
Así es, recordándole a todos los que están en las redes sociales que le den like, compartan, etiqueten, posteen sus banderas de donde es su nacionalidad y donde están residiendo. Y de igual forma, los que están en la isla de San Martín, también posteen de dónde nos están sintonizando, es decir, de cuál distrito es. Si están en Socagalen, si están en Meredillo, si están en Quejir, a mi gente en Quejir, saluditos a todos ustedes allá. Vamos a postear. Recuerden también que tenemos nuestro teléfono de estudio 554-5601, donde usted puede enviar su mensajito dando los buenos días. Puede también enviándole un mensaje especial a este cuerpo caribeño que tengo a mi lado aquí. También puede postear su bandera, no hay ningún problema aquí, y dar algún mensaje, alguna información que nosotros no conozcamos, pero que sea verídica. Entonces, usted puede hacerlo a través de nuestro teléfono de estudio.
All right. We do want to read the headlines for this morning's news and get right into it. And as we start this beautiful morning, I must say there are 28 confirmed COVID-19 cases as of today. This story is taken from the St. Martin Island Times.
Así es, 28 casos confirmados de COVID-19. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Times. Estos son los titulares de las informaciones que le tenemos en la mañana de hoy.
All right. Prosecutor's office opens contact email related to Vineyard Heights. This is a recent development in this whole saga.
Así es, tenemos que la Fiscalía abre un correo electrónico de contactos relacionados con Vineyard Heights. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Times.
Suspect arrested after threatening sister fighting with officers. We're going to read more, and this comes from the St. Martin Island Times.
También tenemos que un sospechoso fue arrestado después de amenazar a su hermana peleando con oficiales. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Times.
MP Emmanuel says, shameful that the Prime Minister hasn't denounced Minister Duran's statement. And this comes from the St. Martin Island Times.
El miembro independiente del Parlamento, Christopher Manuel, dice que es vergonzoso que la primera ministra no haya denunciado las declaraciones del ministro Duran. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Times.
In this never-ending drug smuggling ring, Alpha Team arrests 2 suspects for drug smuggling.
Así es, también tenemos que el equipo Alfa arrestó a 2 sospechosos en contrabando de droga. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Times.
We have some news coming out of Bonaire. CRIP number for all residents ages 0 to 67 years old. And this story comes from the Daily Herald.
Así es, tenemos una información desde Bonaire, el número de cunas para todos los residentes de 0 a 67 años. Esto es fuente del Daily Herald.
Just some backdrop on this last story. When it was announced, I said that we are going to have problems with the private insurers. Now we hear that private insurers concerned about plans to up SZV wage limit as of January 1st. This story is taken from the Daily Herald. We're going to read more and tell the viewing audience what our views is on this.
Tenemos que los aseguradores privados están preocupados por los planes para aumentar el límite de salarios de SZV a partir del 1 de enero. Esto es fuente del Daily Herald.
All right, these are the daily headlines for this morning's show. We would like to begin with our COVID numbers. 28 confirmed COVID-19 cases today.
Así es, iniciamos ya el desarrollo de las informaciones y tenemos 28 casos confirmados de COVID-19. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Times. Al 28 de septiembre, 28 personas dieron positivo por COVID-19. Sin embargo, 10 personas se recuperaron, elevando el total de casos activos a 175. El número total de casos confirmados es ahora de 4.263. Los servicios de prevención colectiva, con sus siglas CPS, están monitoreando a 150 personas en aislamiento domiciliario. 7 pacientes permanecen hospitalizados en St. Martin Medical Center. El número total de muertes por COVID-19 permanece en 66. El número de personas recuperadas desde que surgió el primer caso en San Martín ha aumentado a 4.022. 98 personas están en cuarentena según las investigaciones de rastreos de contactos realizadas por el CPS. El equipo de salud del aeropuerto del Ministerio de Salud Pública, Desarrollo Social y Trabajo, con sus siglas BSA, en colaboración con el Laboratorio de Atención Médica de San Martín, con sus siglas HCLS, han evaluado a 3.726 viajeros que han llegado al Aeropuerto Internacional Princess Juliana, mientras que el CPS ha evaluado a 41.509 personas en toda la comunidad. A medida que los números continúen fluctuando, el CPS continuará ejecutando activamente sus medidas de rastreos de contactos. Por la presente, el ministro Otley le recuerda al público que si está enfermo o experimenta síntomas similares a los de la gripe, debe quedarse en casa y comunicarse con su médico de cabecera.
All right, thank you for reading that in Spanish. Now I'll give some hitting points. As of September 28th, there were 28 persons who tested positive for COVID-19. However, 10 persons have recovered, bringing total active cases to 175. I must say the cases are going down, 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 down. The total number of confirmed cases is now 4,263. The Collective Prevention Services, CPS, are monitoring 150 people in home isolation. 7 patients remain hospitalized at the St. Martin Medical Center. The total number of deaths due to COVID-19 remains at 66. When they say remain, it means that no more casualties have been recorded. The number of people recovered since the first case surfaced on St. Martin has increased to 4,022. 98 people are in quarantine based on contact tracing investigations carried out by CPS. I would like to say Minister Utley hereby reminds the public that if you are sick or experiencing flu-like symptoms, to stay at home and contact your GP, which is your general practitioner. We do hope that these numbers go down. And it seems that if our authorities see these numbers going down, then they tend to relax the closing hours. Right now, we see the French side is they too can stay open until 11. It was first at 8, then it went at 9, and then it went 10, and now 11. Let's see.
Se ha mantenido mucho tiempo.
Yes, 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 yes. However, they are monitoring it, real monitoring. Here on the Dutch side, we don't know what's going on and when they will relax. All we know that it cannot stay like this forever.
Así es, señores, a todo el que esté experimentando síntomas como son los que produce lo que es el COVID-19, por favor, comuníquese con su médico de cabecera y quédese en casita. A todo el que estemos en la calle, tratar de usar nuestras mascarillas, mantenernos usando el hand sanitizer, manteniendo la distancia, porque en verdad hemos tenido un periodo largo de este curfew hasta las 11 de la noche para los negocios.
Yeah.
Y no he visto que el ministro de Salud, Omar Otri, haya decidido que va a reivindicar ese horario o lo va a remodelar. No se ha escuchado nada de eso.
None of the two. One thing I do know, though, that we can't stay like this forever. The businesses are suffering. When I say the businesses, the nightlife are suffering. And they're pushing people to do illegal activities, which is open after 11. And thirdly, we know that some people are very happy that that 11 o'clock, everything should be closed. Then their wives, their husbands will have to come home earlier. If they're living in a place where there's nightlife, it tends to close at 11 so they can get a good night's rest.
Es decir, que hay varias personas que están contentas con
Yeah, there's certain
este toque
people
de queda.
there are certain people that this doesn't matter for them. All right, they don't make a living from the nightlife. The nightlife is not a nuisance or a factor to them. Why? Because they don't go out. However, if their significant other goes out, they can be affected. So there's some people who says, okay, this doesn't matter, and some people who are saying, well, it does because it slows down the economy somewhat. All right, so I just wanted to bring that to light. Prosecutor's office, sorry.
Perdón, Prince. Lo que le sugerimos a las personas que todavía no hayan suministrado la vacuna, que decidan hacerlo al edificio de Vineyard Office Park, y ahí se suministran la vacuna, su primera vacuna, o ya continuar con el procedimiento de la segunda.
All right. Prosecutor's office opens contact email related to Vineyard Heights.
Así es, la Fiscalía abre un correo electrónico de contacto relacionado con Vineyard Heights. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Time. La Fiscalía ha tomado nota de los problemas y quejas en proceso en la comunidad en torno a la distribución de tierra en lo que se conoce como Vineyard Heights o Over the Bank.
Prosecutor's office is taking note of the ongoing issues and complaints in the community surrounding the distribution of land in what is known as Vineyard Heights or Over the Bank. This has led to the opening of this designated email address, vineyard@omcarib.org, to which anyone with complaint, concern, as well as supporting correspondence can submit these for review by the prosecutor's office. The opening of the designated email address also stems for several public calls to the prosecutor's office. One such example is an open letter published in the Daily Herald on Tuesday, September 28th, calling on the prosecutor's office to look into this matter that is of concern for a significant number of people in the community. There is no ongoing investigation related to Vineyard Heights. The prosecutor's office is charged with the criminal enforcement of the rule of law and with other tasks determined by law. This main task can be divided into 3 subtasks: the investigation of criminal offenses, the prosecution of criminal offenses, and supervision of the execution of criminal sentences. Now, I'm sorry, I know that the explanation on the last bit is sufficient. But if there is no criminal investigation, all right, if there's nothing to, for them to query in, why is the prosecutor's office getting involved and having an email address specifically dedicated to this? To me, this is somewhat malicious, and maybe the viewing audience can, relate, or you can disagree. But why is the public...
Esto quiere decir que ya se ha tornado a niveles mayores cuando
and that's
la
the thing.
Procuraduría.
This is what they're giving off. They're giving off a sense that, listen, this situation has escalated into into something that other instances, that other bureaus cannot tackle. But I think this is malicious. Why? First of all, other people who have issued land did not get in trouble, or ministers who had issued land did not get in trouble. There was an investigation and then it was closed. Why is the public prosecutor getting involved in this? And as a matter of fact, if you're getting involved, then let the people know why, and not because someone put an open letter inside of the newspaper calling on the public prosecutor. So let's say if tomorrow I have a problem with my significant other, all right? Me and my woman are at it, and I said, something, I'm going to write an open letter and say that you women are really bad. So I'm going to write an open letter. No,
voy a escribir una carta, o voy a ponerte una denuncia para cuando algo suceda.
Yeah.
Ya yo tener un aviso ahí.
Yeah, I don't know how this is going. And I mean, my example is probably a very, very bad example because, more people are involved. in
Sí.
this Vineyard Heights. I know that. Okay, there's more people involved.
Y perdón, Prince, mientras se siga investigando, se continúen las investigaciones, más personas
Oh,
estarán
definitely.
acumulándose.
Definitely, definitely. Remember, this is a course of 4 ministers,
Sí.
okay, that gave out land and gave out promise notes or whatever. But what I'm saying is that an investigation or there is no ongoing investigation related to Vineyard Heights. So there is none. However, there's an email address. So what do you expect the people to do? All right? Just, okay, I too was involved. That's why we have the ombudsman. And yes, the ombudsman, they're asking questions and stuff. And yes, they got a reply stating that, who she was with and who she wasn't with and all of that, But the job of the ombudsman is clear. And she rightfully have questions pertaining to Vineyard Heights. So my thing is, why is there a email address specifically dedicated to Vineyard Heights?
Bueno, vamos a ver cuando sigan las investigaciones que se arrojen ya
There
toda la
is no
veracidad.
investigation. There is no ongoing investigation related to Vineyard Heights. So what we must say, let's see as this story develops what it will turn into. But right now, there is no investigation related to Vineyard Heights.
Y entonces, ¿por qué llegar hasta la consecuencia de traerlo a la fiscalía y la fiscalía abrir un correo electrónico solamente para este caso especial, donde han habido muchos casos, a veces creo que hasta con más poder que este?
So my question is now, is the prosecutor's office acting as a complaint department?
I don't know.
So now when you have a complaint, then you go to the prosecutor's office?
Eso es una pregunta que dejamos en el aire.
All right, good. Please, you can give your comments on our live Facebook feed or call in and, of course, give us your comments through our WhatsApp message. A suspect arrested after threatening sister, fighting with officers. This is disturbing, but it comes from the St. Juan Island Times.
Así es, un sospechoso fue arrestado después de amenazar a su hermana y haber peleado con oficiales de la policía. Esto es fuente de St. Martin Island Times. Para el domingo 26 de septiembre, aproximadamente a las 5:15 de la tarde, el Departamento Central recibió una solicitud de asistencia en Helsinki Drive, y esta fue para una mujer que quería recuperar su propiedad de la residencia de su madre, pero su hermano le negó el acceso a esta. Siguió una discusión entre la mujer y su hermano con las iniciales CRR. Mientras la policía intentaba mediar, CRR comenzó a reprender a la policía, y la policía, advirtiéndole sobre su comportamiento en varias ocasiones, y se le pidió que le diera acceso a la vivienda para que la hermana recogiera sus pertenencias. Su comportamiento no mejoró y esto provocó su detención. Sin embargo, el sospechoso se resistió al arresto. Después de una lucha difícil, los agentes de la policía pudieron arrestar al sospechoso. Esto ocurrió solo después de que un policía sufrió una herida leve y las gafas del otro oficial fueron dañadas por el sospechoso. Este está pendiente en una investigación adicional.
All right. I also, on Sunday, September 26, 2021, at approximately 5:15, Central Dispatch received a request for assistance at Helsinki Drive. The assistance was for a woman who wanted to retrieve her property from her mother's residence, but her brother denied her access to the property. An argument ensued between the woman and her brother with initial CRR. As the police tried to mediate, CRR began to berate the police. CRR was cautioned about his behavior by police several times and was requested to give access to the dwelling for the sister to collect her belongings. His behavior did not improve, and this led to his detainment. However, the suspect resisted arrest. After a difficult struggle, police officers were able to arrest the suspect. This occurred only after a police suffered a minor injury and glasses of another officer were damaged by the suspect. The suspect is held pending with the further investigation. Not only will this suspect be charged with, disturbing the peace, he will be charged with assault, because when you damage or injure a police officer, it is assault. All right, so this will lead to an investigation, and we will see what comes out of this.
Así es. Continuamos con la próxima información, y es que el miembro independiente del Parlamento, Christopher Immanuel, dice que es vergonzoso que la primera ministra no haya denunciado las declaraciones del ministro Durán. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Times.
Independent Member of Parliament Christopher Emmanuel on Tuesday said the fact that Prime Minister Sylvia Jacobs has not uttered a single word publicly about the offensive comments made by the Minister Vromi Egbert Duran towards the Ombudsman is a shame, and apparently indicates that she condones the comments. And you are what you condone, the MP said. Emmanuel pointed out that several members of Parliament stated that it behooves the Prime Minister to state her position on or give a reaction to Duran's offensive comments towards the Ombudsman. He recalled that Jacobs had chastised him after he asked former Minister of TED Stuart Johnson what kind of cruise he went on, with his sexual line of questioning. Making reference to sexual orientation. Jacob was a member of Parliament at the time. She stood up and screamed it was derogatory. Now we have a member of her cabinet, a minister, not just insulting a high council office, but degrading a woman. Where is the Prime Minister's chastisement now? Where is the Prime Minister's that takes every opportunity she gets to defend women? Women affairs are only important when it is politically convenient. It is a downright shame that the Prime Minister has not denounced the Minister for his statement, the MP said. He added that besides MP Sarah Westcott Williams, the comments on the floor of Parliament and publicly from the other women in Parliament that supports the coalition left a lot to be desired. It is a pity that being in a coalition ties the tongues of some MPs when they should, in the strongest terms, denounce certain things. But this government and its support in Parliament has shown over again that they will do what they want, to whom they want, and when they want. Forget what's right, he concluded. Ladies and gentlemen, with this, we will go to a break. Stay locked and tuned in to TV Carib. We will be right back and can discuss this article just a little bit.
Así es, vamos a una pausa comercial. Cuando regresaremos, volveremos con esta información en español y algunos comentarios. Así que recuerden darle like, compartir, etiquetear y postear sus banderas. Regresamos en unos minutos.
Shell's Kitchen on the E.C. Richardson Street, number 25 in Phillipsburg, have some of the best meals around town for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they make it so easy for you to order. Just call in, then walk in and pick it up. What's up it? Then walk in and pick it up. Or walk in, order it, and pick it up. We also cater and host events. And don't forget karaoke every Friday night. So eat at Shell's Kitchen on the E.C. Richardson Street, number 25 in Phillipsburg. It's a celebration in your mouth.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to what we call the morning show, The World at 7. I just was going to say The World at 8, but it's actually The World at 7.
The World at 7.
Sometimes, Brenda, you do act like it's The World at 8 because you come in late. But yeah, it's the world at 7. Brenda, are we going in extra time today?
Sí, vamos a extra time.
All right, Brenda can make it to extra time. Whoopee! Good. Okay. We have some comments. We have some people that we do want to say hello
Gracias.
to.
Gracias a Dios que yo tengo mi público que sabe, está claro de quién llega temprano aquí y quién no. No tengo que especificar más nada.
Brenda, are you serious?
Sí.
The public is with me. All right. Let us go and greet some of the people and read some of the comments that we have on Facebook Live.
Así es, le damos los buenos días a todo el que esté en casita, principalmente que esté en sintonía con nosotros. Recuerden que pueden enviar sus buenos días o postear su banderita a través de nuestro teléfono de WhatsApp 554-5601 y todo el que esté en las redes sociales como Nancy Ramírez, Mercedes Morillo, Evelio Noesí, María la Emperadora, estuve compartiendo en el día de ayer con ella, Annie Romblin, María Marisa
Buca. Marisa.
Ay,
Bucaut.
David Bertré, Minerva Maduro, Esther Durán Casimir, Debra Heiser, Antonia Richardson, también Antonio Richardson, Clyde Hook, San Martin Anunnaki, Terida Harshan, Nadine Suárez, Brian Baker, Antonia Mendoza, Jonathan Raymond. También tenemos a Delicia Fleming, Gladys Sánchez, Isolda Sosa Ramírez, Carol McKay, Nando Ramírez, Verónica Bell, Germania Rondón, muy buenos días para todos ustedes, Karen Richardson, Francisco Alberto Lacrosse, Sunny Love, Yo, estas son parte de las personas que están en sintonía con nosotros. También está Diane Félix, que está en sintonía con nosotros. De igual manera, Evelio Noesí también, que está en sintonía con nosotros. David Beltré está en sintonía. Gracias. María Crispín, buenos días para usted. Mera Flow está en sintonía con nosotros. Nice. Nombre de Mera Flow. Así
María. Mera Flow.
Así, María Crispín ahí está posteando sus banderitas también. Así que gracias. Ay, nuestro gran amigo, el señor Cedric Ortega. Muy buenos días.
No, it looked like Cedric. I mean, you my boy, Cedric, and you're picking up for Brenda. Let me just read some of the comments, all right? Cedric Ortega is saying, Brenda, late? Oh my gosh, meaning that I'm lying. And then he goes on to say, hey, the way how Prince going on, he can be a minister. So ministers lie. All right. We have some comments from St. Martin Anunnaki, the Brown School of Thoughts. And Brian Baker is saying, good morning. Swaliga K9 is chiming in and saying, diabetic is a lifelong disease. Cancer isn't contagious. And here, too, it's not a matter of days that people die from the disease. Point is, you can't compare communicable to diseases which develop as a result of genetics or injury. We also wanted to say, I also wanted to read Maria Crispin with her flag, St. Martin and the Dominican, hola, hola, Dios bendiga en este día. Mera flow. She just have a flow, you know?
Just lo que te digo, lo que te digo.
Mera, tú tienes un flow. All right? All right. He's already a politician. Enough said. St. Martin Anunnaki, me and you're going to fight this morning, okay? And Miss Biggs is saying, you know, what kind of tattletale melee is this? And she's talking about the article from Christopher Emmanuel. Even though he have a point with when he was a member of parliament and Stuart Johnson was minister, and then he asked Stuart Johnson, listen, for all of you, you know, people who support the LGBT community, do not come after me. I'm laughing because it was funny at the time, and that's why I'm laughing.
Claro.
Okay? When he asked when he asked, what's his name? Stuart Johnson, if it was on a gay cruise he went. He didn't say You went on a gay cruise? No. He said, was it a family cruise? Was it a Disney cruise? Was it, what kind of a cruise? Was it the gay cruise? Right? Listen, the people was like up in uproar, okay? They wanted to bite his neck off, and rightfully so, because I think he could have just asked the minister, what kind of a cruise was it? Okay? Now that Doran made those statements, and indeed every opportunity, every speech she makes, and she have an opportunity to put in women and the advancement of women and the achievements of women, right? She do so. So why is it not that when Doran came out, is it because he's the highest vote getter? Is it because he's a fellow minister and he carries a paramount amount of weight? Is it because, what is it, all right? Is it because there's a rift, it's going to be a rift within the party? We don't know. But one thing we do know is that Doran did apologize. So if he apologized, should she go back and say, yes, you apologize, but this and this and this?
Prince,
I don't know. Give me your opinion.
Cuando tú tienes varios niños, pero hay uno que es consentido, que por más que haga travesura, tú no le reprochas nada.
Oh.
Se dan esos casos, podría ser este el caso.
Could be, it could be. But we don't know, right? I would like to know if you, the viewing audience, can tell me, would it be explainable if the Prime Minister, after the fact that Doran said, I'm sorry, go out and publicly denounce that statement? What do you think? What do you think? That's a good question. I'd like to know. You cannot, okay, with man-to-man message and how you make Adam and Adam Cruz. Adam and Adam Cruz and tourism economy. Oh my God. All right. Agree with the respected MP on this one. As the chief executive of Paradise, she should have come out strong to condemn the language and used. It is state dealing with a high council organization and not some roadside thug communication. I agree with you 100% on this. I think that she should have come out. MP Grisha Martin Heiliger did, even though they are coalition partners. However, I didn't see the other MPs, such as Angelique Rameau, such as Solange, Duncan, Ludmila, the Weaver. You know, I thought
Melissa Gomes.
Well, Melissa Gomes, I think she did condemn that, and the PFP faction. But I would have wanted, and I would have liked to see those MPs stand up and said, listen, we are coalition partners, but this I condemn full-heartedly. And just for the record, I did. I said that this message was not well received, and it is a shame. And I guess a lot of people agreed with me on this matter, because you just don't treat a woman like this or a high council of state.
Con estos comentarios continuamos con las informaciones y tenemos que el equipo Alfa arresta a 2 sospechosos por contrabando de droga. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Times. El equipo Alfa arrestó a 2 personas en relación con el contrabando de drogas. Una mujer con iniciales NW de 35 años fue arrestada el 26 de septiembre por su participación en un delito de tráfico de drogas que tuvo lugar en el Aeropuerto Internacional Princess Juliana. Luego de ser interrogada fue liberada, pero la investigación aún continúa. El segundo sospechoso, con iniciales NC, de 34 años, fue arrestado el 28 de septiembre. Luego de ser interrogado también fue liberado, pero la investigación aún continúa. El equipo Alfa es un equipo multidisciplinario conjunto que está compuesto por el Departamento de Policía KPSM, el Departamento de Aduanas, el Departamento de Inmigración y el Connecticut, Massachusetts y la Guardia Costera.
The Alpha team has arrested 2 people in connection with drug smuggling. A woman with initials NW was arrested on September 26 for her involvement in a drug smuggling offense that took place at Princess Juliana International Airport. After being questioned, she was released, but the investigation is still ongoing. The second suspect, with initial NC, was arrested on September 28th after being questioned. He was also released, but the investigation is still ongoing. The Alpha team is jointly a multidisciplinary team that is comprised of the Police Department, KPSM, the Customs Department, the Immigration Department, the Koninklijke Marechaussee, and the Coast Guard. What I would have liked to see in this piece, if it was marijuana, what kind of drugs was smuggled or tried to be smuggled in. I would have liked to see that. Why? Because a lot of people, and when they're talking about smuggling drugs, they're talking about marijuana. And a lot of people are, raising their eyebrows on this and saying, listen, how can you condemn the use of marijuana, or even the use of marijuana? And marijuana in the Netherlands is legal. To me, that is so hypocritical. However, we see even in our comments, Swaliga K9, listen, is it marijuana or is it real drugs? So we want to know, is it the herb, is it the kush, or is it the chemical stuff? All right, we have a next piece of news, crib number for all residents ages 0 to 67. And this comes from the Daily Herald.
Así es, tenemos que el crib number estará para todos los residentes de 0 a 67 años. Esto es fuente del Daily Herald. Vámonos a Bonaire.
Yes. The Caribbean Netherlands Tax Office, Belastingdienst Caribische Nederland, has created a crib in Dutch Central Registration Registratie Informatie Belastingplichtige number for all residents ages 0 to 67. These personal numbers will be sent by letter to everyone who is registered in the Population Administration of Bonaire, Saba, or St. Eustatius, and falls within this age group. The advantage is that people no longer have to go to the tax office to request and collect a crib number. This does not apply to companies. A crib number is a unique personal number for everyone who is registered with the Belastingdienst Caribisch Nederland. The number is primarily intended for contact between private individuals and public authorities. Examples include the Belastingdienst, the public entity, the Ministry of Social Affairs and Employment, or study financing, studiefinanciering. A crib number makes it possible, for example, to process payment correctly and easily. Persons with need a crib number when they have contact with the Belastingdienst. For example, when filling out an income tax return, the number must be stated when making payments to the Belastingdienst. Future employers will also need the crib number for payroll administration. With the crib number, data can be traced to a specific person. Careless use of the crib number therefore carries privacy risk, including, for example, abuse of personal data and identity fraud. Therefore, be careful when giving out your crib number. Guard it well. Residents were advised in a press release on Monday. Residents of the Caribbean Netherlands who have dealt with the Belastingdienst Caribisch Nederland before already have a crib number and will not receive a letter this time. Guard your crib number well. However, if you are one of your family members have lost their crib number, you can pick up a crib statement at the Belastingdienst. You must bring proof of identity. It was stated in the release.
Bonaire, la Oficina de Impuestos del Caribe Netherlands, ha creado un crib number para todos los residentes de 0 a 67 años. Estos números personales se enviarán por carta a todos los que estén registrados en la Administración de la Población de Bonaire, Saba o Estesia, y cae dentro de este grupo de datos. La ventaja es que las personas ya no tienen que acudir a la oficina de impuestos para solicitar y recoger el crib number. Esto no se aplica a las empresas. Un crib number es un número personal único para todos los que están registrados y el número está destinado principalmente al contacto entre particulares y autoridades públicas. Los ejemplos incluyen la entidad pública, el Ministerio de Asuntos Sociales y Empleo o financiamiento de estudios. Un crib number permite, por ejemplo, procesar los pagos de forma correcta y sencilla. Las personas que necesitarán crib number cuando tengan contacto con Prince, ayúdame ahí.
Belastingdienst.
Belastingdienst, por ejemplo, al completar una declaración de impuestos sobre la renta, el número debe indicarse al realizar los pagos a Belastingdienst. Los futuros empleadores también necesitarán el CRIT number para la administración de la nómina. Con el CRIT number los datos se pueden rastrear hasta una persona específica. Por lo tanto, el uso descuidado del CRIT number conlleva a riesgos de privacidad, incluyendo, por ejemplo, el abuso de datos personales y el fraude de identidad.
Yeah.
Esto viene siendo como un número, el número del ID. Es igual que tú sale en cualquier proceso que tú hagas, y si le das mal uso, entonces puede incurrir en cualquier delito, ya que sea sometido en este caso. Así que
In St. Martin, we do use the CRIP
sí,
number.
pero no se usa tanto así como ellos están provistos a usarlo en Saba, en Estesia y en Bonaire.
Exactly. We actually do, because in order to collect, in order for you to collect study financing, in order for you to be on the social welfare program, to collect a salary in government, anything to do with the exchanging of money from government to the individual requires a CRIP number. Now, that is no phenomenon to us here on St. Martin. However, what is a new phenomenon is the way how they trace it, identify this individual from the CRIP number. It's a more detailed way of getting in touch. Before anybody asks you for your ID or anything, they would probably ask you for your CRIP number. Why? As soon as you type up the number, pop, 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 digitally, all your information is stated right there. So I think that this can be a very, very good thing. However, seeing that how we here on St. Martin likes to, procrastination, and we feel the backwards way of life and not digitalizing things is the way in paradise, this could be detrimental to a lot of people. All right, so I just wanted to point that out. However, I think it is a good thing, the CRIP and the CRIP number, for us to be digitalized and at a level like this. We have a last piece of news, Brenda, and I would like to read this. Private insurers concerned about plans to up SZV wage limit as of January 1st.
Así es, los aseguradores privados están preocupados por los planes que van a aumentar el límite de salarios de SB para el 1 de enero. Esto es fuente del Daily Herald.
A proposal by government to implement an increase in the social and health insurance SZV wage threshold from 67,816 guilders to 120,000 guilders as of January 1st, 2022 is a major concern for the private insurance industry, which foresees a host of negative impact, including major job losses, increased costs to employers, and reduction in the net wages of workers, amongst other things, if the plan goes into effect as is. Currently, persons earning up to 67,816 per annum qualify for medical insurance from SZV. An increase in wage threshold would mean that persons earning up to 120,000 who currently require private insurance would also qualify. The decision was motivated by the need to reduce the deficit in the health insurance fund, estimated at $291 million at the end of 2020, for the combined ZV and OV funds, as instructed by the Committee for Financial Supervision. Private insurers under the St. Martin Insurance Association and the St. Martin Insurance Brokers Association, SIBA, outlined their concerns in a letter to Health Minister Omar Atley dated September 27, 2021. The private insurers said they had taken note of Atley's presentation on September 1st regarding the proposed wage limit increase to the effective as of January 1st, and had taken note that the decision was motivated by the need to reduce the deficit in the health insurance fund. The private insurance industry sees this as a very serious issue for St. Martin, which must be addressed in a manner that takes into account the impact on all parties without compromising stakeholders' best interests. as a major contributor to the country's economy through employment, taxes, insurance, benefits, and other contributions, we are very disturbed by the manner in which this process is unfolding without sufficient transparency, feasibility, and impact consideration to employers, employees, and regards for the role of the private insurance industry. It was stated in the letter to Utley. Based on the presentation, it can be deducted these proposed measures are tantamount to a phased introduction of national health insurance, which the private insurance industry and other stakeholders have engaged your ministry over the years in dialogue to ensure a very equitable and well thought out process is followed in the interest of all stakeholders. The letter continued. Consider the proposed January 1st, 2022 implementation target date for the wage limit increase for ZV insurance. Private insurers are very concerned that the proposed approach may or may not have adequately taken into consideration the increased cost to businesses and employers' reduction in a net wage for employees, loss of choice to residents or employees, reduction in the turnover tax, wage tax, and other social tax contribution, uncertainty of coverage, continuity of care, and SZV's capacity, capability, and strategic plan for servicing the increased pool of insured. The private insurance industry contends that private insurance premiums, whilst risk-based, are comparatively cheaper than the cost of SZV, which at a fixed rate of 8.3% will increase the cost of insurance for employees on the introduction of the increased wage limit. Now, these are the concerns of the private insurers, the Insurance Brokers Associations. These are the concerns. When we heard that Minister Utley came out with this, I said that this would have been a problem. And now that it has soaked in, I guess they had a meeting with it, and they came collectively and said, listen, this is going to be a problem. I can remember once earning more than a certain amount of money, and not in the government apparatus, but once earning more, you go to a Nagico, for instance, and you get your private insurance. So this would no longer be the case, up to $120,000 more. And why the government is doing this is to ease the burden on APS. Okay, we see that the CFT gave this recommendation, and but my whole thing is, I would like the private insurers to come up with a detailed plan. You list the problems, but help government out. Help government to help you. How can they ease the burdens on the old age pension plan and still come out as winners? We know when it comes to dollars and cents, you private companies are well into making good decisions, and decisions that can be beneficial to each and every one of you. So we look forward for the private insurers to help government do this.
Así es, señores, con estos comentarios vamos a pasar a lo que es nuestro segmento de cumpleañeros. Estamos en nuestro segmento de cumpleañeros, felicitando a todo el que está festejando un año más de vida en el día de hoy. Felicitando a todas las personas llamadas Miguel, que están festejando un año más. Ay, hoy está de cumpleaños la reina de este imperio. Ahí está Yolanda Smith, que está celebrando un año más de vida. Happy birthday to you, Yolanda, from staff of Armando a las 7.
All right. On behalf of the staff, on behalf of everybody, my family, and all the friends, we want to wish Yolanda, Tiolenda Smith, a happy birthday. We can see a collage of pictures. We just want to say, we love you to the moon and back.
Príncipe, ¿por qué tú quisiste figurear en el día de hoy? ¿Por qué Yolanda la que cumpleaños? ¿Por qué figureas tú con ella?
Well, I can't help it. I mean, hello.
Ok, pero nada, felicidades. También queremos felicitar a Miguelina de la Rosa Lagares, que está cumpliendo un año más de vida. Muchas felicidades para ti, mi amor, muchas bendiciones. Ahí también tenemos a Miguelina Remigio, que está cumpliendo un año más también. Muchas felicidades para ti, mi amor, bendiciones de lo harto. Y tenemos a Fernando Clark. Fernando, happy birthday to you, all the best. También tenemos a Johnny Torri, que está cumpliendo un año más. Muchas bendiciones para usted en el día de hoy.
I want to say to the rest, Marceline Rogers, Giovanni Nila, The Weaver, Mela, Nadia Kretschmann, Dwight Williams, Migueline J.M., Ruth Mila Rudolfina, your Frau, happy birthday to you, Tash Richardson, Maria Eduardo, and Trissy Smith, and Fernando Clark, as we mentioned, Hans Boo. We want to say to Jimmy Jack, and Narceline Rogers, and Michael Magiro, Africa, Nadia Kresman, happy birthday to each and every one of you.
Ahí tenemos también a nuestro corresponsal desde China, que está con nuestros cumpleañeros en el día de hoy.
We want to say happy birthday to Sun Yang Twing. Happy birthday to you.
Así es, felicidades, vuelvo y reitero, felicidades a todos los que cumplen años en el día de hoy, especialmente a todos los también llamados Miguel, por ser el día de San Miguel, 29 de septiembre. Así que felicidades a todos. Terminamos por el día de hoy nuestra programación. Gracias por estar en sintonía con nosotros. Mi nombre es Brenda Rodríguez de Allen y los invito a nuestro tiempo extra.
Ladies and gentlemen, join us in extra time. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, as we enjoy El Mundo a las 7. Ciao.
Shell's Kitchen on the E.C. Richardson Street, number 25 in Phillipsburg, have some of the best meals around town for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they make it so easy for you to order. Just call in, then walk in and pick it up. What's up it? Then walk in and pick it up. Or walk in, order it, and pick it up. We also cater and host events. And don't forget karaoke every Friday night. So eat at Shell's Kitchen on the E.C. Richardson Street, number 25 in Phillipsburg. It's a celebration in your mouth.
Señores, estamos en nuestro tiempo extra. Gracias al señor Herbert Martínez, que nos da la oportunidad de poder compartir con ustedes media hora más de programa. Gracias, Prim, por permitir que podamos realizar el tiempo extra en el día de hoy.
All right, you're welcome, Brenda. You're welcome. You caught me this time. Ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to say that to all the Dominicans out there, happy San Miguel.
San Miguel.
All right. We had a song.
Ay, Dios, tú sabes que hoy debimos de haber usado un pañuelo rojo, un pañuelo verde. Sí, esos son los colores de San Miguel.
¿Sí?
Sí.
Rojo y verde.
Rojo y verde. Creo que sí, el que si estoy equivocada que me corrijan.
All right.
Pero creo que es rojo y verde.
Well, the question out there to each and every one of you, what do you know about San Miguel? What do you know about the festivities surrounding San Miguel? Did you ever go to a private party that, they have in tribute of San Miguel? And all of the stories, if you can share that with us, the number to call is right on the screen in just a minute. We do want you to call, message in, tell us, what do you know about San Miguel? All right? Okay, so
No, verde solo. Ah, ok. Pensé que también llevaba rojo. Ok, verde solo es el color, dice Esterida Hacha.
so Esterida,
Gracias,
Esterida.
Esterida.
No. Let's say one thing I want to know. So Esterida is so involucrada in
Oh,
los
y Esterida es
dominicanos.
dominicana.
Apparently, Esterida, hello, Zach. Anyway, so Esterida turns the spokesperson for the Dominicans here on El Mundo a las 7. And I guess she's saying, green alone, green alone. All
Ok,
right?
solo verde. Pero hoy no sé cómo será este año, ni cómo fue el año pasado, porque en realidad no estoy muy involucrada en eso. Pero sí sé que cuando es el Día de San Miguel son fiestas en todos los lugares, las personas que celebran esto, las personas que le gusta ¿cómo decir? Ese ambiente
Ambiente de
de,
montar.
de montar.
Ah, el ambiente. Explain us a bit.
Rojo es papá Candelo. Ah, ¿ya?
¿Hay un
Ok.
Papa Candelo también?
Sí, y hay una Santa Marta, y hay una Anaísa.
I can't keep up. I can't keep up. You know.
Yo quiero hacerte la anécdota. Una vez aquí, en San Martín, en el año 2007, 2008, por ahí. Nunca había asistido a eso y fui a una fiesta de San Miguel. Oye, yo quiero ver cómo es. Hicieron un negocio que yo voy a ir. Bueno, está la señora, que era la anfitriona del evento, por así decirlo, estaba montada en Santa Marta. Digo yo, ¿cómo? Y eso era una montadera y una aleluya y se arrastraba.
¿Y cómo? Dime.
No,
Tell me
pero
what she was saying.
no, porque se arrastraba y hablaba en una lengua extraña y decía las cosas como al revés. No sé, porque yo, ¿sabes? A la vez de ser curiosa, sentí como un poquito de temor, porque en realidad yo nunca había asistido y siempre he escuchado, oh no, que eso se te puede pegar algo, pero yo quería ver. Pero ¿qué sucede? Que su teléfono sonó. A ella le estaban llamando de San Tomás para enviarle un dinero. Y cuando viene otra persona con el teléfono, fulana, la llaman de San Tomás. Ella cogió su teléfono muy normal, habló y le dijo que sí, que ella iba a pasarlo a buscar por la Western Union. Miren, nunca se me va a olvidar eso.
¿Cómo ella hizo?
Aló, ¿sí? Ok, está bien, yo paso mañana por la Western Union. Así normal. Luego que cerró, volvió otra vez a la famosa montadera. Y yo la miré así, yo no. ¿Tú ves por qué que yo no creo? Porque que mira cómo se supone que si esa persona estaba montada.
All right, let me give you this story in English. Apparently, there's festivities surrounding San Miguel. Okay, this was the first time Brenda said, but I think she went to them before. I think she's lying. This was the first time here in St. Martin.
Era mi primera vez.
This was the first time that she went to such a party, and apparently they go into a trance. They dance, it's eating, it's drinking, and this lady who hosted the party, she was on the floor and she was dancing and she was chanting, and she was in a trance, supposedly. And she got a phone call and was like, hello. And someone who was next to her took up her phone, hello. Oh, yeah? Hey, they're calling you from St. Thomas. And she like, they're calling because they want to send some money. Hey. Yes, and she picked up the phone. Don't worry, I'll pass for the money tomorrow by Western Union. Yeah, it's okay. All right, fine. And she closes the phone, and then she goes back into her trance, into her monta, as they would say in Papiamento, and they would just, she would just enjoy herself. But do you know that it's not only the Dominicans go into those trances? You know, I know that there's parties in Curacao as well.
¿Sí?
When they call Monta. You
Pero
know,
celebran el día de hoy.
I don't know if they celebrate today of San Miguel, but I know that they have parties as well where they go into trance, they dance, and they do this.
Y aquí
in
yo
Saint
solamente
Martin,
lo vi una sola vez que fue
in
saben que,
Saint Martin as well.
y fue por dominicanos que fue
Well,
realizado.
in Saint Martin, I know that people do different rituals. I don't know what time or what day, but I do know that in Middle Region, I experienced
En
one
la
time.
jungla.
Yeah, in the jungle of Middle Region, I experienced one time, and I'm not gonna say who, but people were dancing and they were basically doing
Pero
different stuff.
¿qué nacionalidad eran las personas?
Oh, they were from Saint Martin.
Oh,
They were
okay.
from Saint Martin.
Okay.
Okay. So it doesn't have to do with obia. It doesn't have to do in with any voodoo or anything like that. It basically is a ritual. It's not evil. I think. I think it's just culture, but it has been suppressed. Why? Because when you look at it, you're like, oh, this is strange. This is not what we're accustomed to. But I guess
Sí,
it's what they're accustomed to.
ellos hay, en esa fiesta habían diferentes bizcochos, habían locrio de arenque, sí, ¿qué más había? Había que había maíz, había muchas cosas, pero eso es lo que yo recuerdo. Fue como en el 2007, 2008, algo
Yeah.
así. Sí, y estuvieron hasta tarde.
Okay, all right. Prince, good day to go check who got you in the fridge.
¿Qué hoy? Hoy es miércoles, bueno, pero es día de San Miguel. Sí, es un buen día para que él chequee a ver quién fue que lo puso en el freezer o por qué.
I can't with you guys anymore. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we just wanted to take time off and to give the tribute that San Miguel. Apparently, it's very important to the people of the Dominican Republic that they celebrate San Miguel. Maybe we should check to see what San Miguel did. Do you know what San Miguel did?
No.
No? All right, good. Brenda,
En realidad no le he prestado. Es que eso, tú sabes como que
no, Brenda, no.
es el déjame buscarlo en Google.
In Google. All right, good. Let's do it live on TV. All right, I'm going to do it as well. Yes, we're checking to see what's up with San Miguel. Okay, and what can they tell us about San Miguel?
Hay muchas personas que son devotas de este arcángel.
San Miguel.
Ok, aquí lo tengo. San Miguel Arcángel es uno de los arcángeles más venerados por las religiones monoteístas y celebra su festividad el día de hoy, 29 de septiembre. San Miguel es considerado como el jefe de los ejércitos de Dios. Es también el príncipe de la milicia celestial y el primer ministro de Dios. Es venerado especialmente por la Iglesia Católica, quien lo considera su patrono. Además, es considerado como el abogado del pueblo elegido de Dios. En las lecturas del Antiguo Testamento es mencionado como el gran defensor del pueblo de Dios. Sin embargo, también aparece en el Nuevo Testamento. San Miguel Arcángel es representado como un ángel guerrero. Lleva una armadura y una lanza con la que es capaz de matar a un demonio o dragón que se encuentra por debajo de sus pies, el cual, según diversas interpretaciones, es Lucifer.
Okay, got this in Dutch. But we're talking about the archangel or the Saint Michael. Apparently, he is the warrior, and he defeated Satan. He is the administrator of God the Father, and he has been mentioned several times in the New Testament. So I guess that's who they call Saint Michael, the archangel Michael. Okay, there's supposedly was three archangel, which was Lucifer, who was supposed to be the archangel of praise and worship and of sound, and then there was archangel Gabriel, who Gabriel was the administrator, and then there's the archangel Michael, who was supposed to be the warrior and the defender of the heavens. One question though, anyway, that's going into theology, but we just want to say Happy San Miguel to each and every one of you. All right? Good. Let us go to our fun fact of this morning's fun fact. All right? Fun fact, 29th of September. Climate change has become an important issue for many people across the world, especially young people who feel their future is at risk because of the effects of climate change. In order to fight climate change, we need to understand what climate change is and what it means for the planet and for us in everyday lives. Here are some fun facts about climate change. Most of the increase in global temperatures since 1950 has been caused by human activity. Global temperature have increased by about 1% Celsius in the past century. Average sea level is expected to rise between 0.5 and 1.5 meters before the end of the century. Rainforest destruction is a major cause of carbon dioxide release. As global temperature increases, our society will find it harder to adapt to the changes this brings, and some species are most likely to go extinct. Some things we all can do to impact climate change: make your voice heard by those in power, eat less meat and dairy, cut back on flying, leave the car at home, reduce your energy use and bills, respect and protect green spaces, invest your money responsibly, cut consumption and waste. All right? Those are some fun facts about climate change. I want to say, when people say, how could the climate change because of eating less meat? Do you know that the beef industry is so big, and the amount of gases that the cows emit into the airs are hazardous to all of that? Do you know that? Do you know that eating beef, do you know how much water it takes for cows to, you have to give them to drink, you have to, when you slaughter them, wash the meat, you have to wash around them and stuff. There's so much water involved. Secondly, their carbon print into the earth is one of a significant amount. Just by reducing your meat consumption, you can protect the earth, each and every individual one of us. Okay? Secondly, when you look at cows, you think, where do we get this meat from? But in Argentina, there's more cows than people.
Yeah?
Yeah, of course.
Entonces ellos no comen vaca.
They do. They export it, but for the world. Brazil, Argentina, they...
Entonces, ¿cómo va a haber más vacas que personas?
Because they export the meat. They eat some meat and they export it for money. So, do you know how much people in the world they have? Japan also exports meat, beef and stuff. So there's a lot of beef. Do you know there's a lot of chickens in the world?
Sí.
Because we love chicken. You eat on average 2 whole chicken a week. Do you know that? How much times do you eat chicken for the week?
Quizás 2 veces a la semana.
Only 2 times?
Sí.
And what do you eat? You eat chicken, you eat fish, what else?
Pollo, pescado, res y cerdo.
Okay, so you mix it up every week.
Sí.
All right. So on an average, you alone would eat 2 chickens for the month.
¿Se podría ver así?
Yeah.
¿Eh?
Let's calculate it. All right? Let's do some calculation. Ladies, the number to call is right on the screen, 554-5601. Let's calculate how much chicken Brenda eats. Then we can have an idea. Not you alone, Brenda, but I'm just letting you know, okay? So if you eat...
Por lo menos, no, exacto, no puede ser 2 pollos porque yo un pollo no me lo voy a comer entero y 2 veces que coma pollo.
No, I'm talking about the month, all right?
En el mes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the amount of meat, okay? Good. So if you eat 2 chicken every month, then times that by 12, you eat 24 chicken a year
En el año.
in the year. Okay? I'm not talking about birthdays when you go and there's a buffet of chicken. I'm not talking about when you're hungry
Y si voy a un barbecue.
or a barbecue. I'm not talking about when you decide, oh my God, I'm hungry and I'm driving. Let me go through the drive-through. Okay?
O si voy a un junte que se haga una comelona en un lugar.
Exactly. I'm talking.
Eso sin
if
contar
you-
eso.
No, I'm
Okay.
talking if you cook in your house
Okay.
chicken.
Okay.
All right, 1 time or 2 times a week. It's 24 chicken a year. Okay, let's times that by the population of St. Martin. All right. How much people are we talking about?
No, 41 no. Como
No.
50 hay algo.
Let's say Dutch and French side. Okay, let's say 70,000 people.
No más, Prince. Ponle 80.
80,000. Okay, I can do so. 80,000 folks. That's 1,920,000
Pollos.
chicken. All right? Chicken. Now, St. Martin is just a speck in the Caribbean. Can you imagine how much chicken is grown in the Dominican Republic?
Uf.
Because they eat a lot of chicken.
Sí,
All right.
y ellos importan también.
Exactly. Exportan?
Exportan.
Yeah. Can you imagine how much chicken is eaten in the other Caribbean islands? St. Martin alone consumes per year, on average, close to 2 million chickens. 2 million chicken.
Y eso es lo que más se come aquí.
Thank you
Que
very
yo creo que es más.
That number,
Porque
that
eso,
number,
no,
that
eso
number
es lo
gone
que más
up.
se come
That
aquí.
number gone up. That number gone up. All right. Okay. Sunni Law says Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's, Popeyes, KFC, and fast food franchises should pay back from poisoning profits. I think that's a good idea, Sunni. That is a great idea that they should pay some kind of taxes. We should send all the cows to the archangel and the prime minister of God. Okay, I don't know what that means. All right, pure rip off for a 50,000 population. Okay, cattle are the #1 agriculture source of greenhouse gases worldwide. Each year, a single cow will belch about 220 pounds of methane. Methane from cattle is shorter lived than carbon dioxide, but 28 times more potent in warming the atmosphere. Okay, some people use those gases for energy. Okay, climate carbon gonna justify cost of living to raise or drive up prices. Okay, we have Sunni Law say climate crisis is greed. That's all it is. Okay, according to the United Nations, the world population increased by approximately 1 billion inhabitants during the last 12 years, reaching nearly 7.6 billion in 2017. Although this growth is slower than 10 years ago, 1.24% versus 1.10% year, with average increase of 83 million people annually, global population will reach about 8.6 billion in 2030 and 9.8 billion in 2050. Population growth, urbanization, and income rise in developing countries are the main driver or the increased demand for livestock products. That's for sure. So from cattle, they get milk, meat, clothing, leather bags, leather pants, leather shoes, and all of those things. Okay?
Yep.
What else do they make from cattle? What else? Antiques. I see a lot of cattle skull going around.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the skull of the cattle, the head. What they do is they probably put a light in it, they paint it and stuff, but not much. Okay.
Okay.
But it is done. Jewelry. Those are the things that are made from cattle. Okay. Sheep as well. Goats. But people, whenever the population grows, people and the demand for cattle, it gets bigger. So when the population grows, and if you notice a child can't speak, but whenever they see the McDonald rings, all right, or the arches, they would show you, and they want nuggets, or they want the kids meal, which
Yes.
is the little burgers. All of that we're feeding into our population. So we raise our children
Yo tengo
on
unos sobrinos,
McDonald's.
disculpe, tengo unos sobrinos que te dejan cualquier comida si tú le brindaste a un McDonald's con Burger King. No entiendo el por qué. Tú puedes cocinar en tu casa y no le gusta, pero ¿y qué tú vas a hacer? McDonald's, Burger King.
I don't know what it is. I think they just put some kind of addictive things in these.
Yo creo que sí.
Because it's
Yo creo que sí.
impossible. The children just want their McDonald's and their Burger Kings. Okay, I was reading the top franchise of the top 5 franchises. Starbucks was in it, KFC, Burger King, McDonald's, of course, because they are real estate as well, and some other one. I don't think Church's Chicken, but those 4 was in the top 5 franchises when it comes to fast food, and yeah, it all about limiting. If we can all decide to stop drinking capsule coffee and move to grain coffee, we can cut greenhouse effects by 0.28%. Cruise ships throw away more food and waste into the ocean, and emissions from them humongous exhaust pipes. Humongous exhaust pipes. That is true. Okay, cruise ships. Do you know when they throw out food? I think that's when the cruise ships for the what do you call it, for the pandemic, when they were on a standstill. I think that was the reason why we saw a lot of sharks coming to shore, because
Yes.
they would throw away food and the sharks probably could eat, and enjoy. But once you have no food, they're going to come closer and closer to where
Tuvieron que
there
salir a
is
la
food.
superficie a buscar, exacto. No, y al estar también las aguas calmadas, tú sabes. Entonces ellos pudieron mantenerse en todos los lugares y poder así salir a la superficie.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we talk a little bit about your carbon footprint and emitting gas and all of those greenhouse effects, methane gas, and how it can be detrimental to our survivability. Some people think, though, that listen, this world would go bad. I would live, and this world would go bad after I die. So it doesn't matter anyway. But what about our children? What about leaving an earth behind that is worthwhile living? And I always say, we're talking about exploring Mars and exploring this and exploring planets. What do we want to do? Mess them up too? Why don't we take care of what we have here on Earth and clean up? Don't emit so much gases, and let's do what it needs to be done in order for us to live a clean and healthy life until we die, of course, but leave back something that our children can be proud of. What about that? What about that?
Vamos a ver qué dicen nuestros seguidores en las redes sociales, o recuerden nuestro teléfono de estudio que estuvo en pantalla, 554-5601. Cualquier comentario, cualquier opinión sobre este tema, nosotros estamos aquí para escucharlo.
Yeah, that just not gonna work in SM, St. Martin, cause tourism have first preference and priority. Sunila, I'm afraid that you are so correct, and living on an island and still trying to live up to, how do you say, what is expected in city life. It is expensive, and a lot of times we damage our surroundings based on that. So I think you are very, very accurate. Leave back paper money when digital taking over. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've discussed a number of topics. We do hope that you join us tomorrow, same time, same place. For those of you who are going to work, safe journey, and we just want to say have a great, great day. My name is Herbert Martina, and you were watching The World at 7.
Así es, mi nombre es Brenda Rodríguez de Allen. Le damos las gracias por haber mantenido su sintonía con El Mundo a las 7. Los invitamos a que mañana estén de vuelta con nosotros, tempranito, a las 7, esperándonos aquí para nosotros poderlos mantener informados de todo lo que sucede en la isla de San Martín. Así que tengan feliz resto del día. Estaremos de vuelta con ustedes mañana, Dios mediante.